Welcome to the Positively No Gambling podcast, a pro football show that is definitely not about betting. My name's Glenn Fraser. It is Thursday, November 20th, and these are the Week 12 picks against the spread. To recap, went 7-8 last week overall, and a terrible 1-4 in the best bets. Still slightly profitable overall against the spread, but back to unprofitable in the best bets, so definitely need a bounce back week. The good thing is every time we've gone 1-4, we've hit at a pretty good rate at the following week. So hopefully that trend continues. All right, we'll start off Thursday night. Buffalo at Houston. Davis Mills in again at quarterback for the Texans. I'm going to go Buffalo minus 5.5. Pretty good track record as a road favorite, and I just don't really trust Davis Mills. It's a big number to cover, but I like Buffalo. Like the way that they've looked last couple of weeks, with the exception of that Miami game. Second game, Aaron Rodgers still up in the air whether he will play based on his injury. I'm going to go with the home team, the Bears, laying the 2.5. Bears as a home favorite and out of the division in Soldier Field tend to perform very well against the spread. 2.5 is probably the exact right number. I know it doesn't make much sense, but I'm going to ride the Bears as a favorite. Second best bet is going to be New England laying 7.5 on the road in Cincinnati. Some of these numbers are skewed with the Brady years, but not really. New England as a road favorite and out of the division tend to perform well. That 7.5 is a number that I like. It's a little risky, obviously, but I'll take New England laying the 7.5. Detroit, potential for this to be another Jameis Winston game for the Giants. So Detroit, I will take laying the 10.5 over the Giants. Detroit is a home favorite, performs very well historically. And that 10.5, small sample size, but tends to hit big number. But I think Detroit looks a lot better this week than they did last week, and they're back to their old self in Detroit. Minnesota at Green Bay. I'm going to take Minnesota. I just think 6.5 is a little bit too much. Packers, dangerous as a home favorite, dangerous in Lambeau. They're only 3-7 against the spread this year. 6.5 is a nice number, 58% with a very large sample size. I just think it's a couple of points too much, so we'll take the 6.5 and Minnesota. Seattle at Tennessee, the number 1 DVOA team versus the number 32 DVOA team. It's a huge number, obviously, but I'll take Seattle minus the 13.5. This line almost never happens. I just like the way Seattle has looked. Obviously, 5-0 on the road, so definitely risky. Is the team going to go 6-for-6 on the road against the spread? We'll see, but I think Seattle has a chance to absolutely blow out Tennessee here. Indy KC, I'm going to go with the Colts getting 3.5. Just slightly too high. And one thing to watch for, Indianapolis run game versus KC's run block. KC having a very difficult time getting wins in the trenches in terms of run stopping this year. Really could be a huge Jonathan Taylor game. Another huge favorite that I'm going to back is Baltimore laying the 13.5. Tyrod Taylor starting for the Jets. Baltimore, I said it last week when we took them, really overdue for one of these, 42-10 games, 35-13 games, really where they just blow a team out. Jets don't travel. Baltimore really needs a statement game, and I think they get it here against the Jets. Oof, boy, really rough game here, a total stay away. Cleveland at Vegas. I'll take Vegas minus 3.5. I don't trust Cleveland on the road, and I really, really do not trust Shedeur Sanders in his first start. A little bit high. Vegas probably shouldn't be a favorite against anybody the way they're playing, but the one team they should be favored against is Cleveland. I think they cover that 3.5. Next one, I'll make this the third best bet. Jacksonville laying 2.5 at Arizona. Really, really like how they looked on Sunday against the Chargers. Not much of a sample size as a road favorite, but I really don't like what Arizona, how Arizona looks lately. With Brissett in there, they seem like a team that has completely given up, so I will take Jacksonville laying the 2.5. Another best bet is going to be Philly laying 3.5 at Dallas. Dallas is a home dog and in division in Dallas tends to perform very well. Philly the opposite in division on the road. A little risky, but I just think that Philly is really coming into their own right now, especially on defense. And if there is ever going to be a get right game for Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown, the entire Philly offense, it is against this Dallas defense. Although Dallas now has Jalen Carter. Dallas, sorry, Jalen Carter. What am I talking about? Dallas does now have Quinnen Williams back. Siobhan Revel, who has been hurt, is now back. Malik Hooker's back. So probably not as bad a defense as we saw earlier, but still, I think Philly wins this one easily. Fifth best bet, kind of a weird one, but New Orleans minus 1.5. Kirk Cousins will be starting. He is shot. He is done. New Orleans at home. Not the best numbers, but this 1.5 is what does it for me. I always take the 1.5. So that's the final best bet. And then two more Sunday night. I'll take Tampa getting the 6.5. I just think it's a little bit too much in LA. Tampa, despite losing as a road dog last week, still has very favorable numbers on the road. And that 6.5 is a number that we like to back. Similar, I'm going to take Carolina plus 6.5 at San Francisco, really only because of the 6.5. There's nothing else that jumps out to me. All right, so to recap, we'll do the Bears laying 2.5 against Pitt, New England laying 7.5 at Cincinnati, Jacksonville laying 2.5 at Arizona, Philly laying 3.5 at Dallas, and New Orleans laying 1.5 against Atlanta. All favorites, very risky, but need a good week. All right, that's it for the week.